Akandamandalakaram Vyaktam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Manurantimiram Dasyam Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Stavaram Jangranam Vyaktam Yat Kinchit Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sabashidya Shiro Sarvam Trilakyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sarvashruti Shiroratnam Dirojita Padambuja Vedantam Bhuja Suryoya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomatvito Niranjana Mindunada Kalatita Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jnana Shakti Samaruda Tattva Mala Vibhushitaha Bhukti Mukti Pradata Cha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Aneka Janma Samprapta Karma Bandha Vidayine Atmanyana Pradhanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Soshanam Bhava Sindosha Jnapanam Sara Sampadaha Guru Padodakam Samyak Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Na Guru Radhikam Tattvam Na Guru Radhikam Tapaha Tattvajnanat Param Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Manata Shri Jagannatha Matguru Shri Jagadguru Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Guru Adira Nadisha Guru Paramadevatam Guru Parataram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Sri Swami Vishwananda Narayan 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 Sri
Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan,
Shri Swami Vishwananda Narasimha, Shri Swami Vishwananda Kripa Sindhu, Shri Swami Vishwananda Avatara, Shri Swami Vishwananda Gangadhara, Shri Swami Vishwananda
Narasimha, Shri Swami Vishwananda Kripa Sindhu, Shri Swami Vishwananda Avatara, Shri Swami Vishwananda Gangadhara,
Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan,
Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan,
Shri Swami Vishwananda Gurudeva, Shri Swami Vishwananda Mahadeva, Shri Swami Vishwananda Brahma Vishnu, Shri Swami Vishwananda Ramakrishna, Shri Swami
Vishwananda Gurudeva, Shri Swami Vishwananda Mahadeva, Shri Swami Vishwananda Brahma Vishnu, Shri Swami Vishwananda Ramakrishna,
Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan,
Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan,
Shri Swami Vishwananda Mahamaya, Shri Swami Vishwananda Govindaya, Shri Swami Vishwananda Prananatha, Shri Swami Vishwananda Jagannatha,
Shri Swami Vishwananda Mahamaya, Shri Swami Vishwananda Govindaya, Shri Swami Vishwananda Prananatha, Shri Swami Vishwananda Jagannatha,
Shri Swami Vishwananda Narasimha, Shri Swami Vishwananda Kripa Sindhu, Shri Swami Vishwananda Avatara, Shri Swami Vishwananda Gangadhara, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narasimha, Shri Swami Vishwananda Kripa Sindhu, Shri Swami Vishwananda Avatara, Shri Swami Vishwananda Gangadhara, Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan, 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 Shri Swami Vishwananda Narayan. Om Matara
Shishaya Namaha, Om Vishamaya Namaha, Om Nirvakarya Samudhyataya Namaha, Om Sukshmatanave Namaha, Om Chinmayaya Namaha, Om Gurumurtaye Namaha, Om Sundaraya Namaha, Om Surochanaya Namaha, Om Sumukaya Namaha, Om Charvasaya Namaha, Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Padmabhujaya Namaha, Om Mandragamanaya Namaha, Om Charvardharine Namaha, Om Ramaya Namaha, Om Mandirastapakaya Namaha, Om Shri Bhutabhrteshwarnath Namaha, Om Gayatri Ajvane Namaha, Om Arpana Svikarakaya Namaha, Om Vishnu Pujakaya Namaha, Om Namo Narayanaye Mandropasakaya Namaha, Om Suramayaya Namaha, Om Madhurakantaya Namaha, Om Krishna Sankirtana Rupaya Namaha, Om Stotra Priyaya Namaha, Om Mitabashine Namaha, Om Vagmine Namaha, Om Chitrakala Visharadaya Namaha, Om Vratadaraya Namaha, Om Sadave Namaha, Om Jagapantaya Namaha, Om Sarvalokaitaya Namaha, Om Bhattapriyaya Namaha, Om Surdaya Namaha, Om Anukulaya Namaha, Om Neyaya Namaha, Om Sudarshanaya Namaha, Om Bhaktavatsalaaya Namaha, Om Premamurtaye Namaha, Om Shubhekshanaya Namaha, Om Pritivardhanaya Namaha, Om Swastidayakaya Namaha, Om Tarakaya Namaha, Om Anugrahaya Namaha, Om Vardhanaya Namaha, Om Ashritaya Namaha, Om Artaya Namaha, Om Siddhipradaya Namaha, Om Janardhanaya Namaha, Om Manoharaya Namaha, Om Akshaya Namaha, Om Siddheshwaraya Namaha, Om Bhasmabhushitaya Namaha, Om Atmalingaya Namaha, Om Lingarchana Prasakaya Namaha, Om Siddhisadanaya Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Omkaropasakaya Namaha, Om Sukshmaya Namaha, Om Vishokaya Namaha, Om Satvikaya Namaha, Om Samadarshiniye Namaha, Om Dakshaya Namaha, Om Achintyaya Namaha, Om Nirankaraya Namaha, Om Nirmohaya Namaha, Om Avyagraya Namaha, Om Chitakrodaya Namaha, Om Vinayashilaya Namaha, Om Svavashaya Namaha, Om Kushalaya Namaha, Om Shamaya Namaha, Om Satyadharmaya Namaha, Om Nirvikalpaya Namaha, Om Viraktaya Namaha, Om Atindraya Namaha, Om Satyasandhaya Namaha, Om Pavitraya Namaha, Om Madhura Swabhavaya Namaha, Om Suranandaya Namaha, Om Nandanaya Namaha, Om Prasatmane Namaha, Om Bhattaridaye Namaha, Om Sakshaye Namaha, Om Samatmaye Namaha, Om Sadayogine Namaha, Om Haraye Namaha, Om Sutapaye Namaha, Om Somyaye Namaha, Om Guryaya Namaha, Om Vimutatmaye Namaha, Om Gabiraya Namaha, Om Guptaya Namaha, Om Atmaramaya Namaha, Om Srinivasaya Namaha, Om Devaya Namaha, Om Dyutidharaya Namaha, Om Danyaya Namaha, Om Gurave Namaha, Om Duratikramaya Namaha, Om Gahanaya Namaha, Om Bhagavate Namaha, Om Harisharana Margadashakaya Namaha, Om Kutashajagartakaya Namaha, Om Abhiprayaya Namaha, Om Sarvamata Samatyaya Namaha, Om Shamaikatavavardakaya Namaha, Om Premavatar Sri Vishwananda Swami Namaha. Ato Deva Havantu No Yato Vishnur Vichakrame Pravivya Saptadhamapi Idam Vishnur Vichakrame Tredani Nade Padam Samodamasya Pagum Sure Treni Pada Vichakrame Vishnur Gopa Arabhya Tato Karmani Daryene Vishnu Karmani Pashyate Yato Vritani Pashpase Indrasya Vijasaka Tat Vishnu Paramam Padagum Sada Pashyanti Surya Iveva Chakshuratatam Tat Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagruvagam Sasamindate Vishnuya Paramam Padam.
Premavattaraya
Vimmaye Satgurudevaya Dhimai Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayat. Om Premavattaraya Vimmaye Satgurudevaya Dhimai Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayat. Om Premavattaraya Vimmaye Satgurudevaya Dhimai Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayat.
Govinda. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Bhurvuvassaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Yo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurvuvassaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Yo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhurvuvassaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Yo Yona Prachodayat.
Shri Krishna Vishnu Madhusudana Keitavare Narayana Achyuta Trivikrama Chakrapane Deityadi Sarjala Rashidhara Vasudeva Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Rukmini Sabhavanasa Hare Murare Radesha Gopisa Surupa Brahmadi Vandya Shri Dvarakashraya Vaikunta Pate Bhuvaneka Murte Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Vinankrite Kamatarupa Varaha Murte Tre Vikramaya Guane Bru Rama Rama Shri Rama Krishna Yadunandana Kalpi Rupa Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Govinda Madhava Mukunda Parat Paresha Damodaram Chadarananda Kadari Shori Gopa Gopi Jana Sambrita Dina Bando Gopi Jana Priyaraye Tava Suprabhatam Shirati Shine Bhujagadi Patalpa Shine Salbhakta Rutsadana Shine Ramanga Shine Shri Gopa Bama Mrugutalpa Sukhadi Shine Gopa Vallabharaye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Kashyapati Sukhanarada Gotamadi Brahmarshi Sangamadi Sangava Bharateshu Tishtanti Deva Tava Darshana Bhagya Heto Gopala Shekararaye Tava Suprabhatam Mandara Jadi Tulasi Dalamalikaria He Malyani Anjali Pute Samudaharanti Tishtanti Tvatvavatadara Tale Munindraha Radha Manohararaye Tava Suprabhatam Vedatrayam Patati Gotamakana Guyaha Gayanti Satguna Gano Varadasa Vargaha Sankirtayanti Tava Nama Kada Visheshaha Shri Naradadirshaya Tava Suprabhatam Govardhanodharana Gopa Kishora Gopa Gopijanamrita Suvesha Bhavadipota Trilokya Mohana Sumangala Divya Deha Shri Rukminisha Varada Tava Suprabhatam Shri Vatsachina Sharanagata Parishatam Bhaktarti Vanjana Kripakara Dina Bando Dityanta Gayati Shana Priya Divya Rupa Shri Nanda Gopatanaya Tava Suprabhatam Padmaksha Padma Mukha Padma Dara Prameya Padmalayasya Rata Padma Nivasa Shori Padmodbhavati Surasevita Pada Padma Padmadinata Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Vrindattale Viharanaya Mahendra Vandya Kandarpadarpa Haratinya Sudesha Rupa Chandrananaya Siddha Chandana Lipna Deha Govinda Yadavaraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Nanda Nandana Yashoda Kumara Dira Mayanga Dina Davishona Supushpahara Nilam Buddha Susharira Namavihara Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Vashi Janbhavati Satya Suganti Bhadra Shri Mitra Vinda Divasa Prabhu Putrikaya He Tishtanti Divya Bhavameta Vasevanardam Gopi Mana Priyaraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Krishna Achyutananta Mukunda Shori Radha Manohara Janardana Chakrapane Namani Divya Munayurna Nisham Vadanti Brahmi Muhurta Samaye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Krishna Suprabhatam Ye Patanti Yaharnisham Buri Kritan Mahapapan Shri Krishna Grahe Tukam Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Chintamani Prakara Satma Sukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vriteshu Surabhira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Kavantamaravinda Dalayakasham Bharavatam Samasatam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakotika Maniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kalazatvana Malyavanshi Ratnangadam Pranayakeli Kalavilasam Shamam Tribangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakarendriya Vitimanti Pashyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiranjaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitamashutamanadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanamsha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlamam Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Mantasukoti Satavatsara Sampraganyo Vayodata Primanaso Munipungavanam
Sokyasti Prapada Chinna Vishinjatatre Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekhyopya Saurajayatum Jagadanda Kotim Yat Shakti Rasti Jagadanda Chaya Danta Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Yat Bhava Bhavitadiyo Manujastateva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasanayana Bhusha Sukteryameva Nigama Pratite Suvanji Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Raza Pratipavitabis Tabiya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabhi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Idayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundara Mashintya Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murti Sukalani Amena Tishtan Nanavataram Akarut Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Svayam Samabhavat Paramapumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanta Koti Koti Shvashesha Vasudadi Vibhuti Vina Tat Pramanishkaram Anantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Iyasya Jagadanda Shatani Sute Tregunyatad Vishaya Veda Vitayamana Sattva Valambi Parasattva Vishuddha Sattvam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Ananda Shimaya Satmataya Manasu Ya Praninam Pratipalam Smaratam Upetya Lila Itena Bhuvanani Jaya Jajashram Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Golokanamni Nijadamni Tale Chatasya Devi Mahesha Haridama Suteshu Teshu Tete Prabhava Nichaya Vichashtayena Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga Ijana Rupam Api Yasya Chate Shatesa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shiram Yatadadi Vikara Vishesha Yogat Sanjayate Naitata Prita Asti Eto Yasham Bhutam Avitata Samupeti Karyat Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Vipashireva Idashantarama Vipetya Vipayate Vivyata Hetu Samana Dharma Yastadriyeva Isha Vishnutaya Vibhati Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ya Karanarnava Jale Bhajati Sma Yoga Nidram Mananta Jagadanda Saroma Kupaha Adar Shakti Mavalambya Param Swamurti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Yashvekanishvasita Kalamatavanamya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagatanata Vishnur Mahansaya Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Vasvanyatasma Shakaleshu Nijeshu Tejaha Sriyam Kiyat Prakatayatyapitattva Atra Ramaya Esha Jagananda Vidana Karta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yat Pada Pallava Yugam Vinidaya Kumbham Tandre Pranama Samaye Saganadi Raja Vikram Vihantum Alayasya Jagatrayasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Agnir Mahiga Ganamambu Maruddhishasya Kalasta Tattva Manasiti Jagatrayani Yasmat Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Yamcha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yashashuresha Savita Sakaragana Raja Samasta Suramurti Ashesha Teja Yasya Daya Brahmati Samvita Kala Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Dharmota Papa Nishayashudayastapamsi Brahmadikita Pataka Vadayascha Jiva Yadatta Matra Vibhava Prakata Prabhava Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasvindra Gopa Matalendra Mahosva Karma Bandhana Rupa Palabhajana Matanoti Karmani Nidhanati Kintu Chabhati Bhaja Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yam Krodha Kama Sahaja Pranayadi Viti Vatsalya Moha Guru Gaurava Sevya Vadahe Sanchitya Tasya Sanishinta Muna Purete Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Om Agnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jagadev, good morning. So, who knows the story of Sage Durvasa and King Ambarisha? Or rather, who doesn't know? Maybe it'll be easier. Don't be shy, it's okay. Okay, many of you. Okay, cool. We're going to go over it briefly. I recommend reading about it, if not in the Bhagavatam itself, at least Guruji's commentary, which you can find in the Bhakti shop. But it was very nice, actually, because I was reading in the scripture, and then afterwards I went and also read Guruji's commentary. And Guruji's commentary is a big surprise, very, very nice, and slightly different than the just translation. So, Sage Durvasa, King Ambarisha. I'm not going to go into so much detail, but just to give you the general context. This is from Canto 9, Chapter 4. And there's a great, great king called Ambarisha. And this king is described as being a very, very devoted disciple of the Lord, of Vishnu, of Narayan. And it's said that he had rule over the entire world and had incredible power, luxury, opulence, all of these things that humans are generally striving for in this life, right? All of these desires that we have. Well, King Ambarisha had all of it. He had everything. And yet, it is said that he perceived of it and cared for it as much as he would for a stone on the ground, which is very beautiful and very profound. Something maybe that we hear about often, this kind of vision of equanimity, right? That we see a stone and the diamond the same. We understand that it's all just from God. But it's one thing to talk about it and know about it kind of intellectually. But King Ambarisha was not just saying it to himself, it was true for him. Because ultimately, everything is just these collection of atoms vibrating at different levels, different groupings of collections, and ultimately he knew there's no difference between a stone and everything else, right? Dust to dust. Everything is God's creation. Everything comes from him, goes back to him. It is all just him. And so if we truly understand that, there's no distinction between the diamond and the stone. And so he's a very, very humble king. And one day, it's described in the Bhagavatam, him and his wife have been observing fasting for 1 year. So they've been fasting for a year. Doesn't mean they've been not eating at all for 1 year, but they've been observing certain regulations for 1 year. And in the month of Kartik, which we had just celebrated, they strictly fast for 3 days. And then at the end of Kartik, after Kartik, as is tradition, he hosts a grand feast, invites many Brahmins, invites many distinguished people of his kingdom, worships them all greatly, offers them cows and proper reverence. And there's a specific time that one must break the fast. So imagine he's been doing this for 1 year, then observing the month of Kartik, fasting strictly for 3 days. And it's not like in Hinduism we just fast whenever we want to, right? There's specific times designated to start, and there's specific times designated to finish. And in the Bhagavatam, it's described if you want to have properly the merits of your fast, there's specific times that you need to break the fast. You start the fast, you finish the fast, specific times. And when this time is approaching for King Ambarisha, this great sage, Durvasa, enters the hall, unannounced, which is a bit rude. He comes with all of his attendants, very proud, walking in. This great mystical sage who has great power and great anger. And he comes in, and of course Ambarisha, being who he is, venerates him and receives him properly. Of all the things that how one should receive a great sage of this caliber. But Durvasa says, before I eat, I have to go and take my bath in the Yamuna. So I'm going to go and do that, and I'll be back later. And so he goes, Durvasa, to bathe in the Yamuna, it said. But as he's gone, the time to end the fast is approaching. And King Ambarisha knows that it's a great offense to start eating without the guest, right? And so he consults, being a man of great humility also, he consults the Brahmins that are there. And he says, please instruct me, what should I do? Because I have to break the fast, but at the same time I cannot eat when my guest is not here. And they deliberate, they think about it for a while, and they decide that just drinking a few drops, taking a few drops of water, we can consider it like eating and also not eating. So in this way, you will be able to break the fast, but we will also consider it that you are not eating without your guest. So King Ambarisha takes the advice of the sages, and just as he's taking the drops of water, Sage Durvasa enters back. And so this is where these verses come in. So it says, after executing the ritualistic ceremonies to be performed at noon, Durvasa returned from the bank of the Yamuna. The king received him well, offering all respects. But Durvasa, by his mystic power, could understand that King Ambarisha had drank water without his permission. Still hungry, Durvasa Muni, his body trembling, his face curved, and his eyebrows crooked in a frown, angrily spoke as follows to King Ambarisha, who stood before him with folded hands. Alas, just see the behavior of this cruel man. He is not a devotee of Lord Vishnu. Being proud of his material opulence and his position, he considers himself God. Just see how he has transgressed the laws of religion. This verse is also interesting to me because it shows very clearly how when somebody is deluded and angry in this way, we always are projecting everything that is inside of us onto the person outside of us, right? Guruji often said this, when you're pointing and judging somebody else, it's actually everything that's inside of you. Because he could not be more wrong about what he's saying here. He's saying he's not a devotee of Lord Vishnu, and he considers himself God, and he's transgressing the laws of religion, where in fact he's one of the dearest devotees of the Lord. It goes on to say, Ambarisha, you have invited me to eat as a guest, but instead of feeding me, you yourself have eaten first. Because of your misbehavior, I shall now show you something to punish you. As Durvasa Muni said this, his face became red with anger. Uprooting a clump of hair from his head, he created a demon resembling the blazing fire of devastation. And then this verse, Canto 9, chapter 4, verse 47, Tam apatnatim jvalantim asi hastam pada bhuvam vapyantim samudaviksha nachala padan nirpa. Canto 9, verse 4, Canto 9, chapter 4, verse 47. Taking a trident in his hand and making the surface of the earth tremble with his footsteps, that blazing creature ran towards Maharaj Ambarisha. But the king, upon seeing him, was not at all disturbed and did not move even slightly from his position. So this is the verse that I chose. Very, very beautiful. Guruji in his commentary says it like this, which I also just want to read here briefly. Guruji says, that demon made of fire burned in rage and rushed towards the king. At that moment, King Ambarisha made a prayer saying, Lord, I'm at your mercy. Whatever is your will, let it be. He stood there with closed eyes and his mind fixed on Narayan. That's Guruji's commentary. So, just to finish the story, as this demon, this blazing fire demon that is making the whole earth tremble, that looks like the blazing fire of devastation. Probably not a very pleasant experience for most of us, if we can imagine such a situation. Rushing at you with the intent of destruction. King Ambarisha completely accepts his fate as the will of God and doesn't move slightly. There's no hesitation, there's no distrust in the situation. And at that moment, the Sudarshan chakra comes, immediately disintegrates this demon like nothing, and starts chasing after the sage. So the situation turns very quickly. And sage Durvasa starts running as the Sudarshan chakra is on his feet. It's even described in the Bhagavatam. He can feel the heat from the Sudarshan chakra sometimes as it's so close to killing him from behind. And first he runs to Brahma. He runs to Brahma. And in Guruji's commentary, he says Brahma doesn't even open his eyes. He says, maybe if I don't acknowledge him, he'll just go away. So he pretends that he doesn't even see him. Durvasa says, this isn't working at all. I'm about to die. Try the next one. He goes to Shiva. And Lord Shiva says, you think I can stop this weapon? This is not my weapon. I have no power that can stop this. Like, are you crazy? Like, this is the weapon from Lord Vishnu. So you go to him and ask him. And then he runs to the abode of Lord Vishnu. And Vishnu says, actually, I dwell in the hearts of my devotees. And that's where you made the transgression. Actually, I have no power because they have power over me, is the one thing in this universe that has power over me, is the love and devotion of my devotees. So you must run to him and ask for the king's forgiveness. Then he runs to the king, bows at his feet, and begs for forgiveness. And actually in the Bhagavatam it's described that King Ambarisha, being who he is ashamed actually of this, because there's this great sage that is bowing and asking for forgiveness at his feet. And so of course, with great humility, forgiveness, he of course immediately forgives him and worships him instead, and all of these things. So that's the story. Why did I choose this verse specifically? Because I think this is the main, or one of the main points of this story. And something that comes up very often in our lives, especially as devotees, followers of Guruji, or people on the spiritual path. right? Often I ask myself, and also people who I see sometimes making prayers, right? This story is really about prayer. And what is prayer when we think about prayer generally? Generally, I would say that when we think about prayer, we're making a request to God. We're having some kind of a conversation, but so often we're asking Him for something, whatever that might be. If we're very, let's say, low level, we're asking Him for low level types of things. And this might be funny to many of us, and it is funny, but even, for example, I've seen in our live streams, people come in and they can comment. And there's even comments, I remember one specifically because it's very crazy. For sure, somebody from India says, Guruji, please help me win the lottery. Tell me the numbers for the lottery. This is my prayer to you. Help me win the lottery. That's all I want. Or in the comments of our YouTube videos, you can see. Please, Gurudev, I'm looking for a wife. I'm looking for a husband. Help me find a wife. Help me find a husband. Or whatever it might be. Right? It's funny, but it happens. It actually happens. Okay, we can say these are very low-level desires, requests, prayers, right? Asking God, I'm praying God that you give me this thing, that you manifest this thing in my life. But this goes up in levels, and eventually we reach a level of prayer which we perceive as being good and correct and just and moral and whatever else, however else we want to justify it. And this becomes difficult. When we start praying for things like a sick one, a loved one, we start making all kinds of prayers. Maybe they're not even sick. I'm also often praying for my family, for my friends. And these are much better prayers than having the numbers to the lottery. But I want to know, what is the best prayer that we can ask God? That we can pray to God? What is the best thing that we can ask of Him? Because recently, the reason I decided to even pick this verse and talk about this was having a conversation with somebody, and they were saying to me, a bit facetiously, but, I pray that Guruji changes this thing, does this thing in the world. And I said, you should be careful what you're praying for also. This is also part of it. Because I've had experiences, specifically, actual experiences, where I've prayed to Guruji for things. He's answered those prayers. And then in the future, you realize, actually, it's worse now. It's more difficult now. If I just allowed what needed to be to happen. But instead, I made this prayer and I delayed what seemingly is inevitable. Please save me from this or change this. And so the best prayer and the best way to be in life, but especially when we're talking to God, when we're having this dialogue with God, is exactly like King Ambarisha is in this beautiful, beautiful verse, where Guruji says, as this demon of fire is rushing towards him, right? I like this verse so much because it specifically says, he was not at all disturbed and did not move even slightly, which is amazing because he doesn't even flinch. And then Guruji says, his prayer is, Lord, I am at your mercy. Whatever is your will, let it be. So even in the face of death, not only in the face of death, but in the face of a horrific death, if we really look at this story, if we really try and think about this story, if we really try and put ourselves in that situation, a demon made of fire, dying of fire is not a pleasant way to die. And there's a demon charging at you that's manifest from the rage of a sage. Wow. And he doesn't even flinch. And he has this prayer. Whatever is your will, let it be. This is the best prayer that we can have. Because we think that we understand something about this world, about this universe, about ourselves even, we think. We think that we know what is good and what is not good. It's not even that we think, it's that we know it deeply. It's so much ingrained in us. It's beyond even thinking. It's just a knowingness that we feel this is good, this is not good. Therefore, God, give me only the good things that I think are good. What we're actually saying is, to some degree, whether it's conscious or subconscious, I don't trust you. I think I know what's better. I have this perception of the world, the universe, my life, humanity. I pray for this thing to happen because I know better than you, and I don't trust your will. I don't trust that what you're doing is meant to be. And God will answer those prayers very often for many different reasons. To teach us something, because He's merciful, because He loves us. So many different reasons He might fulfill your prayer. But I'm telling you, from experience, very often it doesn't turn out the way that we want it to turn out. And our perspective is so hilariously limited. And the irony and the arrogance that we think that we actually understand something about this world, and about this universe, about this creation. That we know what's best. And so I said that to this person having this conversation. And I try and remind myself also of this. Because it's not easy. Because like I said, when we see something, when something happens in our life that we perceive as bad or good, immediately we have a reaction to it. And so it's important to try and remember this as much as possible. And not only remember it when we're like, man, I could really use some extra money. I should pray to God to help me win the lottery. This is an easy time to remember these things. It's easier. But when you're faced with the most difficult situations in our life, right? Or when a difficult situation has transpired. Many of you know, many of you probably also don't know. My dad died when I was 18 years old. This was an incredibly difficult situation for me. And at the time, I went through a lot of things. It was before I met Guruji. But when I met Guruji, I understood also, even this terrible experience in my life, how it led me to where I am, how it led me to meeting Guruji, and all of these things. And so, again, it's easy in many situations to be, okay, I'm not going to pray to God for a new car or a wife or a husband. But we need to remember in the most difficult situations, even when not only a loved one might die or something terrible happens, but that's why this story is so important. Because this is the most terrifying, difficult situation. Even in the face of his own destruction and death. Right? I don't think many people can imagine a worse situation besides the annihilation of yourself. Every attachment, every conception we have, all solidified into this person and is literally about to be destroyed. Can we, in those moments, those most difficult moments, most fearful moments, can we be like King Ambarisha? Can we be completely unflinching and have complete trust? And in that moment itself, say, Lord, I am at your mercy. Whatever is your will, let it be. Whatever is your will, let it be. I don't know anything. My perception is limited. If this is what is your will, if this is what you deem as right in this moment, I accept. Lord, I am at your mercy. Whatever is your will, let it be. This, in my opinion, is the best prayer that we can have. Jai Gurudev.
Yato yato yami tato nashimo. Yato yato yami tato narasimho. Yato yato yami tato nashimo. Yato yato yami tato narasimho. Bahi narashimo ridaye nashimo. Bahi narashimo ridaye nashimo. Bahi narashimo ridaye nashimo. Bahi narashimo ridaye nashimo. Nashima madim sharanam prapade. Nashima madim sharanam prapade. Nashima madim sharanam prapade. Nashima madim sharanam prapade. Tavakara kamala varenakam aputa shringam talita hiranyakashipu tanu bringam Keshavadrita narahari rupa. Keshavadrita narahari rupa. Keshavadrita narahari rupa. Keshavadrita narahari rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Tavakara kamala varenakam abhuta shringam dalita hiranyakashipu tanu bringam Keshavadrita narahari rupa. Keshavadrita narahari rupa. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jai Jagadisha Hare. Jayo Nrsimhadev, 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 Jayo Nrsimhadev. 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 Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Bhakta Swarupa. Jayo Prahlad Maharaj. Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Bhakta Swarupa. Jayo Prahlad Maharaj. Gurudev, 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 Jayo Jayo Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Sri Vishwananda Gurudev, Gurudev, Vishwananda Gurudev,
Vishwananda Gurudev,
Shri Vishwananda Gurudev, Shri Vishwananda Gurudev, Gurudev, Shri Vishwananda Gurudev. Ramanuja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangala Me, Ratiraja Ramanuja, Mangala Mangala Me, Ramanuja, Ramanuja, Mangala Mangala Me, Ratiraja Ramanuja, Mangala Mangala Me, Yatindraya Karuna Karaya Mangala Mangala Me, Yatindraya Karuna Karaya Mangala Mangala Me, Prabhati Dharme Karataya Mangala Mangala Me, Prabhati Dharme Karataya Mangala Mangala Me, Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me, Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me, Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me, Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me, Saligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangala Me, Saligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangala Me, Ridanda Dharini Kotagrachaya Mangala Mangala Me, Ridanda Dharini Kotagrachaya Mangala Mangala Me, Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me, Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me, Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me, Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me, Range Sakinkaya Rataya Mangala Mangala Me, Range Sakinkaya Rataya Mangala Mangala Me, Mananataya Darini Daraya Mangala Mangala Me, Mananataya Darini Daraya Mangala Mangala Me, O Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me, Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me, Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me, Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangala Me, Om Mangala Mangala Me, Om Jai Jagadishaya, Swami Jai Jagadishaya, Bhakta Janot Ke Sankata, Sajanot Ke Sankata, Kana Me Dura Kare, Om Jai Jagadishaya, Tuja Vin Pala Pave, Dukha Vina Se Manaka, Swami Dukha Vina Se Manaka, Sukha Sampati Garave, Sukha Sampati Garave, Kashkamite Tanaka, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Mata Pita Tuma Mere, Sharanaga Ume Kisaki, Swami Sharanaga Ume Kisaki, Tuma Bina Ora Na Duja, Tuma Bina Ora Na Duja, Asartar Ume Kisaki, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Tuma Purana Paramatma, Tuma Antayami, Swami Tuma Antayami, Parabrahma Parameshwara, Parabrahma Parameshwara, Tuma Sabake Swami, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Tuma Karuna Ke Sagara, Tuma Palana Karata, Swami Tuma Palana Karata, Neem Sevaka Tuma Swami, Neem Sevaka Tuma Swami, कृपा करो बरता ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम हो एका गोचर सबके प्राणपति स्वामी सबके प्राणपति किस विधि मिलो दयामय किस विधि मिलो कृपामय तुमको मैं कुमति ओम जय जगदीश हरे दीन बंधु दुखहर्ता तुम्हारा शक मेरे स्वामी तुम्हारा शक मेरे करुणा बधाओ करुणा बधाओ जनपदा तेरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटाओ पापरो देवा स्वामी पापरो देवा सदा भक्ति बधाओ सदा प्रेम बधाओ संतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे तन मन धन सवाए तेरा स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा तेरा तुझको अर्पण तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्तजनों के संकट भक्तजनों के संकट जन्म में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे मन जाकर राखो जी दिलाए लाला जाकर राखो जी दिलाए लाला जाकर राखो जी दिलाए लाला जाकर राखो जी मन जाकर राखो जी दिलाए लाला जाकर राखो जी दिलाए लाला जाकर राखो जी दिलाए लाला जाकर राखो जी ओ जाकर राखो जाकर राखो जाकर राखो जी जाकर राखो जाकर राखो जाकर राखो जी महादेव जाकर राखो जी दिलाए लाला जाकर राखो जी श्याम मने जाकर राखो जी दिलाए लाला जाकर राखो जी गोविंद मने जाकर राखो जी दिलाए लाला जाकर राखो जी दिलाए लाला जाकर राखो जी दिलाए लाला जाकर राखो जी त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव गोविन्द असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति 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 लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम
प्रेम से बोल श्री लक्ष्मणाय भगवान की प्रेम से बोल श्री भूतवर्तेश्वरनाथ नरसिंह भगवान की प्रेम से बोल श्री राधा कृष्ण के लाल की श्री माता प्रिय बाबा जी की श्री मनोजाचार्य की प्रेम से बोल सद्गुरुदेव श्री स्वामी विश्वानंद महाप्रभु की कृष्णाय गोविंदाय गोपी जन वल्लभाय हराय परम पुरुषाय पहर काम मंत्रयंत्र तंत्र वर्षदास्त्रानि समरा समा मिजोर मुचाय मुचाय ओम नमो भगवते मासलक्षणाय दिते जल प्रतय श्री मनोपात
परस्मै परब्रह्मणे परमदर्शिने स्वाहा ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे श्याम वेंकटरमण गोविंदा गोपिक जीवन स्मरण गोविंदा भक्तवत्सल गोविंदा 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 पुंडलीक वरदे एकनाथ नंदे बंदरीनाथ महाराज की समस्त भक्त मंडली की हलवारे पेरुमन तिरुवनि कराये शरणम